Get ready to elevate your roofing game with the Metal Edge podcast from Western States Metal Roofing. Buy factory direct and save at westernstatesmetalroofing.com.
So today I'm here with Mercedes Harris. She is our architectural representative. And Mercedes, why don't you tell us what you do over here at Western States Metal Roofing?
I, like you said, am the architect rep, and basically I do all of our product lunches. I travel around the United States, just kind of getting Western States out there, letting architect firms know what products we have, what resources we have available for them, and just really doing all of our business development and networking, just coast to coast.
So what changes have you observed in architectural preferences for metal roofing and siding in the last year or so?
I definitely think that when you hear metal, you think, oh, industrial, you think, the uglier side of design. But I think it's come a long way with the color selection that we offer, the paneling systems that allow them to just really hone in on their creativity, especially now that you offer, custom panels and all the different colors. I think we're at 120 different colors and specialty prints. And I think that architects are still learning the amount of resources and colors and panels and things that they have at their fingertips. So it's only up. I can only see it progressing.
So if you were to break it down between metal roofing and metal siding, metal roofing, it's the same panels that we've sold for the last 10 years. The only difference there would be the amount of colors and the paint prints and such. What about metal siding? That's quite a bit's changed on that front, right?
I think with all of the siding options that we have, opportunities are endless, but not even just to go with siding. You have your landscaping that you're using metal for now. You have signage, you have design metal walls that you're using in resorts and hotels and restaurants. So really, I feel like it's just progressing so much to the point where metal is and should be your first option when it comes to picking something in the design that you're creating, because it's so versatile. You have so many different, not only colors, but prints, widths, gauges.
And also, it's almost maintenance free. It's going to last forever. And really, when you look at how long it's going to last versus what it costs, it doesn't make sense not to use metal in most of these instances.
I agree. Yep.
So we're talking about metal walls and metal siding. What I've noticed recently driving around is I'm seeing a lot of standing seam used as metal siding. I never really used to see that in the past, and now it's a very common occurrence. Are you seeing a lot of that when you talk to architects?
Yeah, I think that they want that seamless, look. That's why the most popular panel right now is probably going to be more on the concealed fastener side than the exposed fastener side, because they just want it to be clean. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing that more as we get into the modern design world. Of course, you still have that traditional where they want the 7/8 corrugated or the board and batten, which is a really good one. I definitely think standing seam and more of a concealed fastener is the way of design right now.
Yeah, it actually looks kind of cool with the standing seam, the flat area, and then having the raised lap. It actually looks really cool. I've even seen jobs recently where they're switching the widths around. Like I just recently passed a job where they went from somewhere in the vicinity of an 18-inch wide panel down to a 10-inch wide panel. And I wouldn't say that they alternated it, but they mixed it in quite a bit. And man, that really gave it a very unique and cool look.
I think that a lot of architects are really into the Western wave panel because they do have that option of, doing different widths. It adds that different design element. Can we do this? Can we use this panel? And how can we make it interesting? And you can do that with our Western wave panel. And when I tell them that opportunities really are endless when you use metal siding, because we have the opportunity to do custom panels and we have the opportunity to do different widths. So I would say that that's really big in my meetings as well.
In the industry, one of the newest panels that can actually be roll formed and can be made cost effectively is the board and batten panel. Previously, that would have to be done out of wood, or you'd have to do it on a brake, which would be very expensive. Have architects really noticed that that panel can be done in metal? And what's the reaction been, just out of curiosity?
I definitely think our board and batten is really popular right now, especially because you want to keep that traditional, feeling, but have the modern technology and longevity of metal. When I do go over our board and batten panel, it's always like, wow, wait, really? You have that? And so it opens the door of that looks amazing, especially on, your more traditional residential homes. But a lot of architects right now are using it on Starbucks or Black Rock Coffee, to have that traditional design, but the modern twist on it's going to last a lot longer than a wood board and batten. And not to mention all of the different wood tones that we do have and actually provide in it. So I do think that is huge right now as well.
Or just a solid color like a white. I've seen pictures and I've had panels up close of both wood board and batten and metal board and batten, and you cannot tell the difference. I mean, it looks the same.
I agree, and I love to see it in our white wood tone. I think it's beautiful. It adds that like texture. So I can definitely see that taking off.
Any other trends that you're noticing that are really starting to pop?
Aside from the, board and batten and the wood series, I think we should go over the wood series. The wood series is huge right now, especially because we now do offer it in different panel systems and standing seam roof.
Why don't you explain the wood series?
Yeah, so our wood series is basically a panel that looks like actual wood. We have it in different grains. That way, when it's installed, it doesn't look like it's just a repeated pattern. So it looks like you're installing actual wood. I think we're now up to 9 different colors. You have the ability to have an actual wood siding that looks like a wooden home or a wooden building. But now to add the standing seam, I think that's going to blow up because it's just different. It's classic, it's timeless, and it's definitely going to add more of a curb appeal, especially in, richer residential homes. It's going to be really, really beautiful.
The mock-ups we have of that standing seam, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to see one actually done on a job.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the more and more we get out there and advertise that we do have it, and it's something, it's going to take off. It's going to be big.
So we talked about how the wood colors are kind of trending. What about just normal solid colors? Are you, for the longest time, and I think still now, it's been the farmhouse, right? A light color siding and a dark roof. Is that still trending as much as it used to be? And if not, what's kind of becoming the new one of those?
I would definitely go with earth tones. We're going to say more of a deep neutral color, like, of course, matte black will always be big, but we're going to go more deeper into like the midnight black, dark bronze, charcoal gray, black or matte. Our zinc series is really popular because you have a lot of areas that have a strict HOA, which doesn't allow you to go out of these specific colors, but they also will let you tread lightly and do like a black zinc or a black or matte. And those kind of add a little bit more of a, interesting design as opposed to just having a flat color. But I definitely think they're staying within more of like a deep neutral tone right now, especially if you want to complement the wood series or a wood that they have on the house. They're staying more into like the neutral, natural, earthy tones right now.
Well, that's kind of interesting on an HOA, where you have such a narrow window where you could switch it up a little bit and still meet the HOA code, but still look so much different than your neighbors. I didn't really think about that. You're talking about the earth tones and such. Again, it was black for the longest time. Any of those earth tones a little more popular than the other earth tones?
Dark bronze is definitely slept on. I've had so many meetings where they look at dark bronze and they think it's so beautiful, but clients just turn back to a black. So I think that a dark bronze or a charcoal gray, they're making their way in right now in replacing black, just because, black can be a bold statement.
Again, I geek out when I drive around and I see a metal job. I'll always stop in and take a picture or look at it. And the thing that I've kind of noticed going back to that traditional farmhouse is it's kind of changing a little bit. Before it used to be a white wall and, as you say, black. And as you said with the roofs, I have noticed a little softening where it's a little bit lighter black, like the dark bronze. But also on the siding, instead of it being a white, which is still predominantly most of what I see, but I'm starting to see now where they'll put like a light gray or something like that, and I think that looks even sharper than the traditional farmhouse. It looks beautiful with the light grays and things like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think like a lot of architects or I talked to one the other day who was doing more of like a blonde wood with a tan roof, so I think like the more lighter earthier tones are coming back, and white is making its way out.
So we're talking about the earth tones and HOAs, matte colors. That got really popular over the last couple years. Is that continuing to gain popularity? Is it kind of decreasing in popularity? What are your thoughts on the matte colors?
Textured, like low gloss finishes are here to stay. I don't see anything glossy coming back, just because it adds more depth to a project. It adds more sophistication. It just looks cleaner. It looks like it could last longer. So I definitely don't see matte going anywhere anytime soon.
Is there something that you get asked for that we don't have quite often, just out of curiosity?
No. Like, if we don't have it, I would be surprised because I always tell everyone, especially in my lunches, that our website is like a thesaurus of metal information. If you need it, we probably have it. And we have, installation guides. We have a spec builder. We have data sheets. We have everything that sometimes it gets overwhelming because they'll be like, where do I find this? So there are times where I get on a Zoom and I walk people through our website to see that it's really all readily available for them at their fingertips.